Hi, everyone. It is me. It's been a really long time since I've done a Facebook Live. Does anybody watch Facebook Lives anymore? I'm also on YouTube. On YouTube. I did go to YouTube because I like YouTube. Does anybody else like YouTube? Anyway, I wanted to do a quick Facebook Live because I just recorded episode number 141 for my podcast, and it was an extremely emotional story. I had an experience in the past less than 24 hours that was very traumatizing to some degree and very emotional and exhausting. And I just wanted to do a quick little Facebook Live or YouTube Live about what you do when you hit the wall so many times. So, what do you do? So, I did a whole podcast about it. It'll come out in 2 weeks from today. Today's podcast is all about, and my podcast is Who Can It Be Now? The podcast Who Can It Be Now? It's on wherever you go to podcasts and listen to them. And today's is all about using your own instrument. But what I want to talk to you about real briefly is what I've been noticing in the climate, in the world, and in people. And I'm going to share a tiny bit about my story, but my main story of what I went through in the past 24 to 48 hours is going to be on episode 141, and you're not going to want to miss it. And it was a doozy, a friggin' doozy. Um, what I've been noticing, I've been doing these life strategy sessions, these intuitive life strategy sessions. So if you're interested in that, you can go to marilynaloria.com/call. And I really, what happens is I go into these sessions and I do about 7 to 8 minutes of intuitive reading. The way I read, I channel. So doing readings, and I'm able to tap into people's expansion and really see what they're here to do, like, for the most part, right? And really feel their gifts and what gift is being highlighted and where they need to go and stuff like that. And it's really, I love it. I absolutely love it. But this is the thing that I've noticed is, and I want to know who you are in this category. Okay. I've noticed that a lot of these people are so incredibly gifted. They have this mission, they have this dream in their heart. They know that they're meant to do something incredible in this world. They can feel it. It's gnawing away at them, but they don't act on it. And the reason why they don't act on it is because craziness is maybe going on in their life, or they're waiting to be healed, or they're afraid of failing, or their spouse isn't going to agree with it, or it didn't succeed before. Why will it succeed now? And the whole thing is that if it's still gnawing away at you, it's still meant to be lived. It's still meant to happen. You're still meant to do it. And you can't let life get in the way, Sally. You can't. And I'm going to share a quick little story, but it's on episode 141, which will be in 2 weeks, of what I've just been through. You can see my whole emotional state is kind of very mellow because I went through something in the last 24 hours that was so exhausting emotionally, so triggered my fight or flight, had to call the cops, so disruptive and disturbing to some degree. And I'm still here doing a Facebook Live. I'm still recording my podcast. I'm still talking to my coaching clients. I'm still doing my job because I love what I do. And I'm not going to let some situation or some person stop me from moving forward in my life anymore. And when I sat there with my guides this morning, because it was a doozy yesterday, so much of a doozy that I've been in therapy since I was 26, on and off for years, that I texted my therapist and said I need an emergency session. And I have never done that, ever. I was in Atlanta during the Olympics when the bomb went off and I couldn't find my boyfriend at the time. And then we broke up and there was this huge thing. I didn't even do it then. I've never done that. And I sat down with my guides this morning and I was like, why? What's going on? What? And I wasn't the person, what they did to me was messed up, man, really messed up. And you'll hear the story and you'll get to see, but you'll have to wait until it comes out on my podcast in 2 weeks. But what I want to get through on this Facebook Live, and I'd love to hear from all of you, and I'll take it back to the beginning of what I talked about, my life strategy sessions that I'm doing. But what I sat in with my guides this morning and had a conversation with them that I never have had. And you may think it started out like, I'm not going to get into the whole conversation, but dude, what is going on here? And I had a heart to heart with them and called them out on stuff because I didn't understand. And after I got to say what I needed to say, which you can do with your guides, I got quiet. And the downloads and the information as to why this is happening for me, not to me, and what I need to do with it was incredibly inspiring and wonderful and great, and started having me click back into place. So for those of you who think, life is too hard right now, I can't do it, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'm waiting till I'm healed. But there's a story inside of you, there's a mission inside of you, there's a dream inside of you that you want to do. Stop ignoring it. Stop stopping the dream. I don't look, there are some people that are dealing with very, very difficult things, and I get that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell them what to do. But most of us are dealing with life things. And life is not, people are waiting for life to get easy. If you're in a spiritual path called to do something incredible, life is meant to be multifaceted. It's like nuts and bolts, and then going out of joint, and then cricking up, and then breaking somewhere. And that's what the journey is. And it's what you do with that journey and how you are with it that makes you a better spiritual teacher, healer, reader, coach, mentor, whatever you want to call yourself, author, whatever you want to call yourself. It makes you better at that because of the life experiences. But I see too many of you doing this, retracting, right? And I'm gonna take your questions in a second, or I want to see what you guys are saying. But so I've been doing these life strategy sessions, and if you're interested, because I don't know how long I'll do them for, it's marilynaluri.com/call. Go check it out and book one. And like I said in the beginning, I do these readings, right? I do about you have to fill out a questionnaire too, because I want to know a bit about you so we could just dive in and you can walk away with an action plan. But the first 7 minutes, I'm like doing a reading, and I'm like, I get to see people's souls. I feel like I do. I really do. I get to see their expansion. I get to see what their gifts are. And then I get to see what's standing in their way. And I'm amazed at what these people are possessing. And then yet when I ask them why they're not doing it, I don't know if my relationship will fall apart. I don't know if I don't have the time. I'm exhausted. Let me tell you something. If you're exhausted, it's because you're not vibrating and doing what you love to do. That I'm going to tell you right off the bat. It's not to say you're not suffering with some physical ailment. I'm not a medical intuitive. I don't even talk about physical. But I know I went into a job that I hated every day, and I felt sick every single day. And I was like, this is weird. Every time I'm here, I feel really sick. But I didn't put it together. I thought I was just sick. And then when I left, before I left, I went, it's the job. Once I left, I wasn't sick every single day. Life happens. It's what you do with it that counts. And it's also, why is it happening for you? Why? This thing I just went through taught me one of the biggest intuitive lessons. You're going to hear on podcast next week, 140. I would listen to this week's podcast, which is about using your instrument. Your body is your instrument. And I teach people how to use their instrument, not mine, your instrument. And then next week, I talk about how my intuition led me to this great person, but I ignored my intuition. I came from desperate things and need. And then it blew up, absolutely blew up. So you'll hear this podcast this week, next week, and the week after, you'll hear the whole story. So my question to you is what is it going to take for you to live your mission? What is it going to take? I'd like to hear from you all now. What is it going? And if you're listening to the replay, put replay. What is keeping you from living your mission? Because nobody's keeping you from it, only you. So I'm going to stop having the conversations with people where I have to drag horses to water. I'm not doing it anymore. It's exhausting. I see so many incredible people. When I had my membership program, Membership for Your Soul, there were so many gifted people in there. And what I noticed year after year is that some of them were still in the same place. They were trying, though. They were incredible beings. You can't, like Sally says, decluttering. Well, declutter, Sally. Declutter. What are you waiting for? Make it happen. Because what's really happening, Sally, and I say this with love, by the way, sweetie, it's your self-esteem. It's that you don't believe you're worthy of something. That is really the core issue. that is on. You're afraid that you're going to fail. You're afraid that somebody's not going to support you. So you use cluttering as the excuse to not go forward. And you can say, I'm wrong. She said she's almost done. Great. I celebrate that. I celebrate that. Good for you. Good. You can say I'm wrong. Great. Tell me what's going on, Sally. Fine with me. So you had 4 kids. Okay. So now what? Now what are you doing? What do you want to do? What's keeping you from doing it? What's keeping you now? Is it just the decluttering? So let me know. You can disagree with me. It's totally fine. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. It's hard to call people out on a Facebook Live, but I'm going to say what I say and what I see. Because the whole thing that I started with Sally, and I don't know when you started this conversation with me, is I want people to stop having excuses. I want people to do the magic that they're here to do. So you have every right to say, I don't agree with you, Marilyn. I'm decluttering. I'm doing everything. That's cool. You've got your voice. So what's keeping you guys from doing what you're meant to do? What is keeping you guys from doing what you're meant to do? So Sally said, so Sally said, this caregiver here, now I need to change things up. I'm aware and have been awakening for a bit now. So onward and upward. Good. So what I want to do with you, Sally, if you're still on, yeah. So she said it. I did say a caregiver. What is it that you want to do, Sally? Let me help coach you right now. What is it that you want to do? Because no matter what, the way that I read that, it's the thing that you're saying has kept you from moving forward. But nothing is really keeping us from moving forward except ourselves. So I'm curious what you think it is. I'm really curious. So, Jennaire, I hope I'm saying your name right. Clarity, so many gifts and need to channel into something marketable. So, what I would suggest you do, Jennaire, is put those gifts on a piece of paper, right? Write them all down and think about your ideal client that you really, really want to help. And how would you help them with all your gifts? Because a lot of times people are trying to figure out the exact program, the exact protocol, the exact pillar system that they're meant to use in order to help that one client. And really what it is it's you. You're the instrument, right? So you're the instrument to help that person. So if you just sat down and wrote down every which way but Thursday, Tuesday, whatever the saying is, that you could help that person, and then think about the person you want to help, you got a marketing plan. You know who you're talking to. You know how you can help them. You don't have to say through my clairvoyancy or through my Reiki healing, I have all these different things that I use. All this is my instrument. These are the people I help. I'm able to help you to see clarity. That's a marketing plan, but put it down on paper. So that's great. Great, Sally, I'm glad you're doing it, but what is the thing you're going to move on to? That's what I want to know. What is the thing that you're going to move on to? What is the thing that you're getting ready to do? What is the career that you want to do? Okay. So I'd love to hear it. Deborah says, I'm not sure where and what I'm meant to do. My divine connection is there, but not as I can always recognize. So usually when I'm with people in who don't know what they want to do, start with your passions. Start with, I feel like, Deborah, you have the gift of clairvoyancy, clear seeing. You probably have the gift. You're definitely empathic. Most people are that follow me. You have a bit of clairaudience, clear hearing, but it's also about speaking your truth to yourself. So think about things that you love. What do you love? What helps you? What helps you feel connected? What helps you feel inspired? What helps you feel creative? What helps you feel like you want to take action? And then think about how you can do that for others, because usually what we do for others, we've done for ourselves or somebody did for us. So it helps us so a lot of times we're like, I don't know. And the strategy session will help you get clear on that. It really will. If you want to do a strategy session, go to marilynalori.com/call. But just know I'm not an easy coach. I'm going to give you a reading in the first 7 minutes. That's all it is. And then we're coaching and getting you an action plan in the rest of the time. It's only a 50-minute session. But what I want you to do is think about the things that have helped you. And what about that? What are you passionate about with that and how you can help others? But don't sit in the space of, I don't know. So for me, I was interested in my gifts. They were opening up. So I started studying my gifts. And then as I was studying my gifts, I had to give readings for free. And they were really good. And I really enjoyed it. And I started teaching right off the bat too, and gathering groups of people to practice. I was really good at that. So then and then I loved what people were taking away from the readings and how it was helping them. That was exciting. And then I also loved what it was doing for me, because there were times, you go into a reading, it's very nerve wracking at times, but you can't care. You can't have an ego. You can't put yourself in it. It can't be about you. But I would walk away from readings completely accelerated because I learned so much just in that space. So I found out I love them more. And then I stopped loving readings because I didn't like people being disempowered with me. So you just want to work with that stuff. It's great. So great, Sally. This is great that you took your power back. You're going forward on your journey. You're doing astrology, moonology. Do you want to create a business out of this? Is that what you're telling me? You want to create a business out of this? That's what I want to know. Jen Eyre said, clarity. I have so many gifts and need to channel to something marketable. Also, basic needs must be met. Single mother of two, needing to find own place after a breakup. It's very hard being a single mom. Very, very hard. I understand that. And what I would say is look at what I said before. Don't you get caught up in how am I going to market it? How am I going to market it? Just start talking about what it's like being a single mom and how you're using your intuitive gifts to help your own life and how you can help other single moms by just having somebody to talk to, having a sounding board, how you're able to intuit and help them or whatever it is that excites you. Maybe use astrology like Sally does, or maybe you use moonology and you help the person see their path. Start talking to single moms, because you can relate to them so much better. You can relate to them. So think about what you want to know, what you want to do, and move forward. Just move forward and stopping the path, because I see too many people not moving forward. And you need to move forward. You really, really need to move forward. You need to, I'm gonna call Sally again. Sorry, Sally, but you're a very good person for me right now to do this. She's saying she's decluttering before she's doing something else. She's studying and stuff, and that's all well and good, and that's great. But how long has that decluttering been going on? How long has the studying been going on? You need to now, if you want to create a business, create the business. If that's what you want to do. If you don't want to create a business, that's something different. I talk to people who want to create businesses. Okay. So I think I'll leave it at that. My main thing that I was saying in this session is stopping yourself. Just stop it. Life happens. Life gets difficult. It's actually the thing that should be propelling you into your future, not halting you and stopping you from moving into your future. So let me know your takeaways from that. If you're struggling with where you're going, what you want to do, I can help you in the strategy sessions, mainly if you want to create a business. I'm working more with people who are either in business or creating a business. If you're not yet there, I'm not the person for you. I would go to somebody else, because I'm much more about being strategic, about creating a marketing plan or knowing what it is that you're meant to do and why you're here, and then getting yourself into action and doing it. But there's plenty of people out there that can do other things. So if you're interested in one of those calls, go to MarilynAloria.com/call. Give me your takeaways and I'll come back and read the comments. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.